Hello and welcome to AmakhosiTalks. If it is your first time stopping by this channel, please do subscribe and don't forget to turn on your post notification bell so that you never miss any future uploads on the channel. Also, please show your love and support for this channel by liking this video, as it also helps the channel to grow and reach more Khosi fans out there. Well guys, we do start off today with a quick reminder that we have qualified for the last preliminary round of the CAF Champions League, and in the next round we are facing Angolan giants Primeiro de Agosto. Now, of course, we sealed our qualification to the next round after overcoming PWD Bameda 1-0 on aggregate. And I must say that, guys, it wasn't the best way to qualify, especially that second leg. It first started off with confusion after confusion. We didn't know as to when was the game going to be actually played. In my years of watching football, I have never been so much frustrated by a build-up to a match. Nonetheless, we managed to play a goalless draw and just about make our way into the next round of the competition. But if we want to go any further into the competition, it will require a very big improvement from ourselves, because Primeiro de Agosto are nothing like PWD Bameda. They are an experienced team in Africa, and they will have their sight fixed on making it into the group stages. Much is needed from us if we are to get any better and have any chance of competing with them. There are no two ways about it. A lot is required from us. Well, now guys, getting to today's business, as we all know, it is the DSTV Premiership action for us, and our next opponent is Black Leopards. Honestly speaking, guys, I cannot stress the importance of this match. Of course, we aren't playing any of the top sides in the league, but looking at where we find ourselves on the log standing, it's quite clear that we have to collect all 3 points. Otherwise, we might be facing a very difficult situation. Now, I know it's still fairly early into the new season, but after 5 games of football, we find ourselves languishing in 13th position, just 2 points from the relegation spot. Definitely coming into this match, the players, the staff, and the coaches, they need no motivation. They know how important it is to get all the 3 points. Whatever the circumstances or situation we find ourselves in, we must deliver. And now guys, looking at the head-to-head record between us and Black Leopards, since 2012, we have played 8 games against Black Leopards. And in those games, our record isn't all that poor, because we have managed to win half of those games, losing 2 and drawing the other 2. What the records also tell us is that this isn't a typical goal fest of a match. It is typically an odd goal that usually separates the 2 sides. And based on the poor start to the season that both teams have suffered, I don't think there will be that much big difference going into Wednesday's fixture. Because looking at Black Leopards' form going into the match, they themselves are having their own struggles. In the last 5 matches they've played, they've only managed to score only twice, with the other goal coming from their only win in the season, which they got against Maritzburg United. At face value, there isn't that much to separate the 2 teams. We both are struggling in front of goal, and we both find it hard to keep a clean sheet in the league thus far. And now, looking at us guys, I think there's no denying that we lack both in terms of our defense and our attack. Much of the coach's emphasis since the start of the season has been centered around the defense. We have seen so many formations and combinations being tried by the coach. Of course, some of those changes were forced by injuries and suspensions, but I think this is an area where we aren't quite sure yet as to who is the best candidate to do the job for us. The strategy the coach has been using is to play what he feels is right for that particular match, but it hasn't really worked in our favor. I think if we can maintain the same formation and back 5 for a few matches, then we might just start to see our players' confidence coming back. The fact that we were able to keep 2 clean sheets against Bermuda will also boost the morale of our players. Now, the other area which I'm sure is the most frustrating for all parties involved is the lack of goals up front. This is certainly a big area of concern at the moment, and the coach spoke very angrily at the amount of chances we have created compared to the chances we have actually converted into goals. After the Bermuda match, Hunt spoke and said, "You can't be missing the chances we get and the opportunities we create in matches." The coach there spoke that in his 30 years of coaching, this is a first for him. And for me, the most interesting statement which really caught my eye is when the coach spoke about the fact that you cannot expect to keep clean sheets every week if you are not securing the goals. And that right there is a very big point raised by our coach. Yes, we can blame the defense for leaking in goals in recent times, but if the strikers are not easing that pressure by converting, then it makes things even harder. And now guys, one bit of good news: Samir Nurkovic is officially back to full training, and that could be very big news in turning our fortunes. Because no matter how you may look at it, we are just way better with him on the field. We know he's been out for quite some time now, but the fact that he has been officially cleared for full training means that we may very well see him in action in the coming games. But of course, we shouldn't be carried away by him coming back. He won't just be thrown into the starting lineup. He still needs to acclimatize himself and get match sharpness. So just cameo appearances late in the matches would be my ideal approach with him at the moment. And then now, finally guys, looking at the squad available and what we should expect to see in terms of how we line up against Black Leopards. Now again, this is a fellow struggling side, which is why I think going into this match, we shouldn't be conservative in our approach. We need to go out and set out for the win. In recent matches, the coach has tried to set up in a way that would not allow us to overcommit ourselves going forward. But against such opponents, our quality has to show. We need to see the team playing with a lot of enjoyment and purpose on the field. And for that to happen, you need to field players who are good on the ball, players with a lot of creativity. And that leads me to my preferred and probable lineup for this match. In goal, Itumeleng Khune should comfortably retain his spot as the number 1 goalkeeper. In the fullbacks department, with the injury of Frosler still ongoing, Moleko should slot in at right back along with Philani Zulu to complete the fullbacks department. At centre back, the ever reliable Daniel Cardoso and Eric Matoho should solidify that back 5. And then moving further up the field, I think for this match we should do away with that physical presence in place for more versatile and mobile players in midfield. And that is why I think Njabulo Blom should play defensive midfield with Ngobo, Manyama and Jangase to complete that midfield diamond. To me, this is the midfield that will give us more creativity and mobility in our play. Up front, Kama Billiard and Castro should be our attacking line. Of course, I wouldn't mind if the coach gave Sifama an opportunity to at least prove his worth instead of Leonardo Castro. And that completes my ideal lineup, guys. Let me know your thoughts on it in the comment section. Do you agree or disagree, and what areas do you think should be priority in this match? Now again guys, I'm sure we will all be quite happy that the game will be live on SuperSport. These past 2 games were very difficult for us to watch. Do make sure that you are ready and wearing your Khosi Nation gear come 7:30 in the evening on Wednesday. From me to you guys, Ikhosi, alipheli umoya.